Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Boebert's feud has exploded. It is pretty bonkers what we're about to talk about. So of course, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lauren Boebert, two of the most radical, most extreme MAGA Republicans, super detached from reality, super anti-democratic, super dangerous. But despite being similar in those ways, apparently personally they very much despise one another. And we talked about in the last segment the fact that Lauren Boebert is now trying to impeach Joe Biden. And it seems based on that and some other things that have built up, but that has been, or that is for this story, kind of the spark. Marjorie Taylor Greene is very upset with Lauren Boebert because she feels like Lauren Boebert's copying her or taking her attention. Very strange. And this built to reportedly a moment of Marjorie Taylor Greene calling Lauren Boebert, as the Daily Beast writes. And actually, I'm trying to think about the radio and television affiliates of the David Pakman Show. I'll just say for this story, little B word, okay? I think you can figure out what that is. This is from the Daily Beast. Marjorie Taylor Greene calls Boebert a little B on the House floor. The messy feud between two of MAGA world's biggest stars burst into public view on Wednesday when Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene called Representative Lauren Boebert a little B to her face on the floor of the House, a U.S. House of Representatives. The angry exchange came as the two lawmakers have been swiping at each other over their competing resolutions to impeach President Joe Biden. I want to impeach Biden. No, I want to impeach Biden. But tensions came to a head on Wednesday after Boebert leveraged a procedural tool to force a vote on her own impeachment resolution. We talked about that in the last segment. Within days, undercutting Greene, who had offered her own resolution, but not with the procedural advantages of forcing a vote. Look at yourself, MAGA. Look at yourself in the mirror. Greene apparently cursed out Boebert while the House was voting Wednesday afternoon as the two spoke in a center aisle. We'll look at this video in a moment of the House floor. Part of their interaction was captured on C-SPAN's cameras. According to two sources that saw the exchange and a third familiar with the matter, the back and forth began when Boebert approached Greene, then seated in the chamber, and confronted her over statements you made about me publicly. All three of the sources said Greene called Boebert a B. One of the sources said Greene called her a little B. So you can take your pick on which one you think actually happened. Not a really big difference to me. Apparently, Greene said that Boebert copied her articles of impeachment, but Boebert denies that. So that is as immature and as MAGA GOP as it gets. And here's the video. There is no audio of them saying this, but we can just imagine.
Take your conversations to the back, off the floor. For what purpose does the gentlewoman... Order, please.
Okay.
For what purpose does the gentlewoman from Florida, Mrs. Luna...
I'll mute the video, but you can see it seems somewhat heated just by what you're watching on screen, but with the added context of what is being reported, what a moment. And you combine that with what we saw during the speaker vote where Matt Gaetz was lunged at by another member, and there's just chaos within this MAGA GOP. And is that necessarily a reflection of how outrageous their policy positions and rhetoric otherwise are? No. But it is interesting that the party with the most dangerous views also happens to be a chaotic mess with low character interpersonally. It just so happens, and I think those things tend to coincide, that that's the characteristic of this movement as well. You could never imagine, with all the differences Democrats will have. You remember there was a big divide between Joe Manchin and progressive Democrats during kind of the Build Back Better debate era, and you can never imagine something like that happening. There's a level of seriousness, professionalism, and maturity within the Democratic Party that apparently is just completely evaporating within the Republican Party. Pretty wild, and it's all over their argument over who should get the attention, I guess, for impeaching Joe Biden. Make sure you are subscribed to my YouTube channel if you want to get more of what you're getting today, Luke Beasley on YouTube.
Think of your most personal emails. If you're using a free email provider, you should know that they're scanning every email you send and receive, even after you delete it. They're usually using the data to build a picture of your life to show you ads, which many find creepy. Our sponsor, StartMail, never scans or tracks your emails. Privacy is what comes first. And unlike other email services, when you delete an email in StartMail, it is gone forever. It also protects your data by blocking tracking pixels in emails, which companies and hackers can use to track you. You can create unlimited email aliases to protect your identity and cut down on spam. You can encrypt every email you send, even if the recipient isn't using encryption. StartMail gives you 20 gigs of storage. That's more than you get on Gmail. And it only takes a few clicks to migrate all of your emails and contacts over to StartMail. Go to startmail.com/Pacman to get 50% off your first year. That's only about $2 a month. The link is down below.